let's have a lesson on this piece. You can watch the video for free and pick up lots of tips and ideas about playing Renaissance music, because this comes from an Italian lute source. If you have the piece in another book, you can just use that, but if you need the music, it's part of my Volume 2 Easy Classical Guitar. And there's a link for that underneath the video. So the first thing you probably want to do is just set up like a nice rhythm to this piece, a nice pulse, so just 3 beats per bar, and then play the top voice, the melody, kind of on its own, just to get a sense of phrasing to the line and a solid foundation for the rhythm. So that's just all the notes with stems up on the highest note in the chord. So lots of the first beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, here, then here, here. And you could probably feel the piece mainly just in one, like 1 beat per bar. 1, 2, 1. So play that melody on its own. Lots of dynamic shaping to the line. Not rubato or anything like that, but just lots of like growth, increase and decrease, crescendo, decrescendo, just on a micro level to make the phrasing really come out and to follow kind of the human voice model of singing the piece. So a little bit ease into it, then grow and decay near the end of the micro phrase. And then as you go through those eighth note lines, it'll sound much more legato if it's shaped a little bit. And when you reach the end of the phrase, just taper that off. That's a very general rule, but this is not always true. When the notes go up, you can kind of crescendo a little bit, and when they go down, you can taper off within the context of where the phrase is going, of course. But that's like a very generalized rule. But, you know, just come up with a good sense of phrasing with that upper line, and then when you add in all the chords, just try to keep that as high quality as possible. So I've opened up with the 4th and 3rd fingers. That way 1 and 2 are available for that D chord there. On the repeat, if you want to add some ornaments, you can. I just did some simple stuff like I did a little hammer-on pull-off here, trill to the upper note, so F sharp to G. Bar 9. Again, I use the 3rd finger here. That way it's similar to the chord shape that follows. That part, just make sure that this knuckle here is brought in close to the guitar so that you can reach that C sharp without shifting the hand up or doing a sudden movement, right? You don't want this and then have to reach out for that C sharp. Just have it swung around. That way it's sitting right there and it just goes down. If you want to do an ornament on the repeat, you could do another little trill if you want. Just like on that chord, just from C sharp to D. On bar 17, just go to 2nd position. That way everything is lined up and ready to go. Same thing about the 4th finger and the 3rd finger here. Just have it aligned and have your knuckle in so you can grab that chord nice and easily. So it's just hanging, those fingers are hanging out right there. On the repeat, there's not as many opportunities for ornamentation until down here. You could do a little trill there from A to B. I keep the D and go D, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, C sharp. And then I do a little hammer on delayed suspension, so playing the C sharp and D on the last bar and resolving it to the D. That little A with brackets in it, I would only include that on the repeat. That's the way it looks in the original, not with brackets, but I think the intention would be just for the repeat. Not much else to say on bar 14 and 22. I've done a small edit. There's originally an F sharp in the inner voice, but because I'm using regular guitar tuning for this easy book, we don't have an open string there, so we're just going to leave that one out. And bar 18 also contains a D underneath the F sharp, but again, not a very big edit there. In terms of the right hand fingering, keep it really simple. Thumb for all the bass notes, so stems going down. And then just try to alternate fingers. You will have to repeat fingers on the chords sometimes, but it's not a fast piece. Just make sure you're alternating the rest of the time. So, like I said, just make sure that melody is really nicely phrased and you have a solid foundation for the rhythm. And then it's a real beautiful piece that flows quite nicely. So as long as you've worked it towards that place, just take it nice and slow, nice and easy, and work on your legato.